दीप जगमगाया हो। ऐसे ही रोगों से पीड़ितों की वेदना को, ऐसे ही रोगों से पीड़ितों की वेदना को दूर करने का एक सहज उपचार है। सारे शब्द बौने, सारे शब्द बौने, ये तो बस खिलौने, सबको नतमस्तकों, सबको नमस्कार है। एक छोटा सा अपनी बेटी के लिए, तो एक लाइन थोड़ा सा और। तो लीसा बेटी यहाँ आई, लीसा बेटी यहाँ आई, सबको देने प्रेरणा। लीसा बेटी यहाँ आई, सबको देने प्रेरणा। सबकी बनी सुमति सुगति, सबकी बनी चेतना, सबकी बनी सुमति सुगति, आपकी बनी चेतना, सबकी बनी चेतना। हम सबके अंतर में, हम सबके अंतर में एक ही उद्गार है। आनंद की वर्षा हो, प्रभु कृपा अपार है। सबको त्याग कहूँ या कहूँ आभार है, सबका अनुग्रह या हम पर उपकार है। सबको नमस्कार है, सबको नमस्कार है।
I have an idea. Should we get Naveen on stage? Because he's wearing a new Joy Maker outfit. I thought I was a diva. This guy changes twice for one event. Everybody welcome him. Naveen, if you and I were gay, my mom would love you as a son-in-law. You know why? 2 reasons. He's Indian, and he's a doctor. Ka-ching! Come on up, Naveen. Walk the cause. I chose this song as a theme song for him. Come on. This feels great. Yes, my dear, what is it? You can't hear me? Ah, okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh. Well, I'm sure you're all excited to hear Lisa Ray speak. Lisa, welcome to our SKN Gala. You personify the words beauty, courage, talent, victory, and wisdom. You know, you received awards for your success, but I think we would like you to be acknowledged today for the struggle that you've endured. You know, when I was asked to introduce you, I could have easily just talked about you being one of the top 10 most beautiful Indian women of the millennium. I could have talked about your successful modeling career. I could have talked about your award-winning roles. I could have talked about your successful TV shows. But what sets you apart from the rest of the pack is that your setbacks in life never made you sit back. In fact, every setback positioned you for a comeback. You were diagnosed with multiple myeloma a few years ago, and yet, tonight, or today, you have risen stronger and higher than before. You know, when one suffers a serious medical condition like you have, two things come to my mind. First one is, how does one grow in the face of scrutiny? And number two, how does one live with themselves when it's not that much fun being themselves anymore because of this dark cloud you have hanging over your head? You could have so easily been defined by pity and sympathy, but today you're defined by your success and your strength. For that, you're more than a model, you're a role model. Today, you bring your message as an international speaker, a cancer awareness advocate, and an author. And tonight, your presence helps us celebrate the fight against cancer, rather than commiserate the misery of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the stars come out at night, and tonight we have one more. Please welcome on stage the one, the only, Lisa Ring.
Vic, can you come back for a moment? I have a little message. First time I've had the pleasure of meeting this fine gentleman, and I wanted to convey a message by my manager who's sitting there, and she says, if you want, should it ever occur to you to come to Bollywood, call her. And that's why this man is going to stay on Fox.
Unlike the others.
Pleasure, thank you. Well, first of all, it's amazing being here. I want to personally, if I could, come around to each and every person and congratulate you for being here tonight, for standing in solidarity against, let's face it, the big C, and I have to say it, cancer. In fact, it's actually a very, very significant date for me to be here speaking at the SKN Gala Foundation, because 7 years ago now, at exactly this time of year, I first announced my diagnosis with multiple myeloma, which is a relatively rare blood cancer, but which is uniformly considered to be fatal, in the sense that, well, it's incurable. So I'm standing here today, decked up in a beautiful Joy Mitra Lenga. I've got beautiful bling all over me, and I'm carrying a little something extra as well. I'm still living with this disease. Thank you. And I think it's really important to emphasize that because, you know, I mean, obviously there's a huge fear factor around cancer. Cancer is a very complex disease. There isn't just one cancer. Unfortunately, not one size fits all. And, you know, in my case, the fact is that I've continued to not just survive, but of course I like to say thrive with cancer. So it's possible. It's possible. I'm a living testament. And you know, my experiences have obviously clarified so many things. It's given me deeper meaning and purpose in life, and part of it is simply paying it forward. But before I continue, I first of all want to really, really congratulate Naveen, the man of the hour, of the year, I would say. Where are you, Naveen? Where have you gone? I think he's gone to do another costume change. That's what I suspect. Where are you? There you are. I expect to see you in another costume change. And by the way, all of these people, you guys are putting me out of a job. I mean, look at all these showstoppers. You know, we don't need to hire professional showstoppers anymore. But Naveen, I really have to tell you and share with you, because I really haven't had a chance, only briefly, and you know, all of the chaos of putting together an event like this, which is a momentous effort. Believe me, I understand that. How deeply you have actually touched me. Your story, and your struggles, and your family's struggles, and how you have risen above it. And not just that, but I think that this is the vital thing. And this is something that we can't, oh, hang on, sorry, Vip was here, so I gotta kind of put it up a little higher. So he won't mind. I love a man who doesn't take himself too seriously. So, again, you know, I think that Naveen is extraordinary, but another thing that I truly believe in today, again, having gone through what I've gone through and having had the opportunity to meet so many other people who have had cancer experiences, is that this deep strength and resilience is in every single one of us. We're not extraordinary, but Naveen has managed to take the raw ingredients of grief, suffering, and hang on, by a show of hands, is there anyone in this room who has not gone through a bad time? Anyone? Because if you haven't, let's have a talk afterwards. I want to know what your secret is. But the point is that everybody has. And yet there are certain people that we celebrate who actually use those circumstances, transcend the experience, and bring people together to inspire them and to give back and to do good in the world. And that's a really, really significant lesson. And again, Naveen, thank you so much for bringing together everyone here tonight. An incredible work that you're doing.